So I find myself releasing shame around asking for support, asking for help. And if that's something that you're going through, I want you to know that there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking. You may have been surrounded by a lot of people who just distorted help into control. You know, they made you believe like if you need help, it means that you're weak, right? If you're asking, it means that you're less than, right? If you're receiving, it means that you're at someone's mercy. If you're needing, it means weakness. And all of that is just emotional manipulation. Because you're not gonna always get it right all the time, every year, every day of your life, right? And for me, I haven't been so great. I wasn't so good with finances. And then I realized, man, being in a position where I actually need certain type of support in certain ways, it's amazing, because I didn't realize how much shame and how much energy was blocking me from asking for assistance. And it's not that it was so much afraid to ask, but more so asking the wrong people, right? Because of those emotional manipulation, just making you feel less than. It's really distorted, okay? It's training you to believe, and it's training your nervous system to believe like it makes you less than. Oh, you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and you're still asking for assistance financially, something must be wrong with you. That's a lie. You know, what I've seen it to be, and we're not talking about not taking accountability and not figuring out a way. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just, you could be good for 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, and then you just happen to be down and you need a little bit of financial support. You need a little bit of help. You need a little bit of, you know, knowing that you have people that's not going to throw it back in your face or talk about you and make you feel less than. And when you look around, I would see that there aren't that many. And the ones that were there, I'm super grateful that they were there. And the ones that are there, I'm super grateful that they are there. You know, they don't hold it against me. It's not a habit. And it's something that I also had to break. I even had to break away from a very special friend, because I felt like, you know, I was always provided for in certain things that I needed. But that also coddles you. It doesn't assist you. It doesn't push you. It doesn't help you to figure it out on your own. And that was something that I made the decision, the conscious decision, to just move away from, you know, because it'll allow me to not be coddled, right? So that may be the same thing for you, because you want to do better, but it's also because of that programming, because of that nervous system entanglement and training to make you feel like if you ask, oh, you can never seem to get it right, you're less than, or something's wrong financially, and really no, you just want people that's actually going to still love you and honor you and respect you and push you just as much as support you, and not throw it back in your face, not make you feel less than because you're down right now, right? And what is considered societal down. You might not, and then this is another thing I realized, you could be financially down but be spiritually rich, be emotionally balanced, right? You're not stressed out like, oh, going crazy about to do anything for $1. No, because you want to be able to ask and know that that is tied to, at least you care enough about yourself and your safety and your security to ask. And it's crazy how people would really make you feel like something is wrong with you. And now it could create something where you're afraid to go and ask anyone else. Okay, it could even be new people that's willing. I've had people that they were cool with me and we reconnected, and out of nowhere, they just supported me, like, here, financially, you know, or they gave me a kind word to keep going. And it meant so much to me, because it's like, man, even some closest don't even do that, you know. And then you got to also be aware of the people that would use their ability to help you against you. It's kind of like, what I could put it as an example is like, I'm going to support you and I'm going to help you as long as this is what you're doing, as long as this is the route that you're going in. But the minute you decide to go your own route or do your own thing, I'm not going to really support you, and let's see how well you do without me. That's the type of energy that I feel. And whenever I feel that energy, I'm like, well, this isn't the type of support I would want anyway, because it's manipulation, it's control. And you want to be able to determine that. So you want to make sure the people in your life that not to ask because that's what they're doing, versus knowing that you are safe to ask. You're safe to ask people that actually support you, safe to give back to you, and they're not going to down on you, because shame is real. And the situation may not be real, but the shame that you've constantly had to work through is real, because it shows up real in your nervous system, to the point where I'm telling you, like, there's times where I'm like, oh, I can't even ask. I don't want to ask. I'm not asking this person. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to say. They're going to probably try to use, making up a whole bunch of stories up in my head, and it's crazy. It'll be the most random person that would just send a large donation, and it's like, oh my gosh. And I'm super grateful to be aligned, to be able to captivate and call that into my reality, into my experience. And just seeing how, I guess I'm at a moment where I felt like maybe I was just coddled, or I've had the things that I wanted, and now I can actually feel some real tension about really needing certain type of support, because I've never experienced it before. It's almost like, well, before you get to the next level, you need to experience this, right? And it's really grounding. But it also shows me asking is not weakness. Asking doesn't mean you're less. Instead of thinking of it as less or more, think of it as open or close. Because if you think about it, if you're asking, that means you're able to go outside of yourself to ask someone else, right? Which means you're expansive enough, you're open enough to reach out to someone to say, hey, I need a little bit of support. You're not perfect. You don't have it figured out all the time. You're able to ask someone that you trust. That's not going to hold it against you, because you're expansive. You're actually open. But if you're closed off, you're only within yourself. So you're not going to be able to pay rent. You're not going to have food. You're not going to have transportation. You're not going to have a little bit of money because you don't want to ask. And that's all due to a blocked nervous system from what you were programmed. It's not that you shouldn't ask. It's just that you've been asking the wrong people. Again, it's not to make it out of a habit, because, finances is very tricky for a lot of people. A lot of people, they don't like giving anything to anyone, because they don't want that person to get comfortable to keep asking and asking and asking. I totally respect that, and I honor that, and I see that, and it's true. But that's not for everyone, right? And also, everyone's walk is a little different. You know what I'm saying? So always be discerning and be real. And if that's just a law, that's just a law. There's no love loss or anything like that. It just is what it is. I've had a friend for a long time, and I would ask him, and he would just be like, you'll figure it out. And I love him because he still loves me. He still pours into me. He still supports me. And he does not. He does not, and that's needed too. So don't think of it as being less than. Think of it as being, are you open enough or too closed off? Because if you want to think of it as an energetical source, an energetical being, to become more magnetic, because then you're telling source, the Most High, that I'm open enough to care about my needs and to expand and to ask for assistance and help. And there's no shame in that. And that's how you also help to release yourself from shame. So now when you're releasing shame, you release scarcity, you release the lack, you get more in return. You get more in return. It shows up in my life so many times, and now even more so because I just happen to find myself dealing and working through this. And I'm grateful that I'm able to do this with you guys, because you guys can also go through the journey with me, and you can also learn something from it. And these are also tools that I also implement with clients one-on-one, because I'm actually going through them, or I've gone through them already. Those are the type of things that I wanted to know for myself, right? So I come on here and I share it with you guys. It's funny how it really conditioned your nervous system to just associate vulnerability with danger or judgment, right? Like if you ask, it could be dangerous, or it could be an opportunity for them to judge me. It's like, that's from an experience where people constantly gave to you because they wanted to control you or manipulate you, emotionally manipulate you. And now it's been happening for so long. This is the kind of like energetic frequency that you're always magnetizing as. You're always polarized in, rather. So you're magnetizing opportunities that could actually possibly help you, but you're closed off. You're not open enough. Think of your energetic source. Think of your Merkaba field. How open and expansive is it? Is it closed off? Because if you think about energy and even creation came from thought vibration, right? And then it quickened, and then it solidified, and then turned into human form, trees, birds, everything is solid, tables. But before that, it was wider waves. It was big waves of energy. And as it became more solid, more real, more, what's the word I'm looking for? More physical, it started to quicken, right? It quickens, it speeds up, and then it solidifies. So you kind of want to think of it that way. And if you solidify, that also means you become stuck in one thing. It's like a fridge is a fridge. It can't be used for anything else. A table is a table. It can't be used for anything else, right? You're a teacher. You could never be anything else. Now you're stuck in that reality. Now you become rigid. So now you want to open yourself up, release that. You could be anything. You could do anything. You could use the fridge for other things. It could be a cake fridge. It could be just a meat fridge. And then you have a vegetable fridge. If it's a square fridge like mine, it could be a seat when it gets too crowded. Or if you're about to faint and you need somewhere to sit. Now you're not limited. And you probably also carried a lot of overgiving energy, which I know that I did your entire life. Right? So asking, if you've been overgiving a lot, either it could be love, ideas, advice, support, finances, gifts, here and there, right? Asking flips that role, right? You're always giving, so receiving, that flips that role. It's almost like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel safe. Because I'm always giving. I need to give. I'm a giver. And maybe now you're being called to receive. You don't always have to give. You don't always have to be the fixer. You don't always have to be the one to give. You're now being called to receive. Can you receive? And not take it with shame. Can you receive without shame? Can you receive without guilt? You see how you got to work through that? And now you could be in a situation like I could see that in my own reality where you're healing how to balance equal give and take, right? Giving and receiving. Maybe you've been giving so much, now you're forced in a position where you have to ask or you have to receive, right? And there's no shame around that. So you get to release shame around that. Asking doesn't make you less than if you're open, okay? Receiving doesn't put you in debt. It puts you in alignment. You're not really taking anything from anyone. You're actually allowing. It's almost like the energy. You ever heard like anytime my arm was hurting me. If you've given so much, never expect it to come back in return, especially not from that person, right? But you know it'll come back somehow, right? You're not doing it. You're not giving just because you want to get something back. You're giving because you genuinely just want to give love, time, advice, upliftment, money, whatever it is that you can give. That doesn't make you less than at all, right? But now when you're in a position to receive, allow it to receive, because it could come from all types of places. It doesn't only have to come from the person that you gave to, the experience or the situation that you gave to. Allow yourself for it to come in all different ways. Do a little ritual for yourself. Light a candle. I am open to receiving all that is divinely mine. And I release any shame around receiving. I've given and it's time for me to receive. An equal give and take, and I'm grateful for receiving. Thank you so much, because I'm open to receiving. It's easy for me to receive. Why is it so easy for me to receive? Start saying those things. It could definitely help you. It's something that's been helping me. And this was pretty vulnerable for me. I didn't really want to come on here and share this way, but why not? This is as real as it gets. All right, so like, subscribe, share it with somebody that may actually need this as well. Don't ever feel less than if you need assistance. All right. Make sure you do your due diligence though. Create. If Spirit is telling you to create, if you're meant to look for certain opportunities, do what you got to do. But also know that it doesn't make you less than, it makes you open. So open up to receive. Okay. Peace out.